Hey y'all, it's Necey Dixon. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are new here, welcome. Clap, clap. Okay, if you are returning, y'all, welcome back. Especially if you are returning from my review that happened right before this one, where we was talking about Real Housewives of Dubai and Real Housewives of Atlanta. If you haven't checked out those reviews, y'all make sure to head over there, okay? Especially if you're on replay. But if you're on the live, go ahead, light up the comment section, say what's up, okay? Y'all, I'm more so excited to get into Love and Marriage Huntsville. Love and Marriage Huntsville has been giving, okay? It has been giving every single episode, okay? Hilarious. Hey, JC, welcome back. Sweet Jasmine, hey, Harold. Back up here like we left our keys. Me and Harold was on Twitter last night live tweeting for Real Housewives of Atlanta. Harold is gonna stay on the live tweet. Y'all make sure to follow me on Instagram so y'all can live tweet with me too while the show is on. Demetria, Chris, really, hey, and hey, Sephora. Okay, let's go ahead and get through Love and Marriage DC. So, Love and Marriage DC. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Okay, I had to say that. I think I said it at the beginning, but y'all that's coming off in here, go ahead, do me a favor and like the video, because what YouTube likes to do, especially whenever we're having a live conversation, if they see that y'all like the video, they're going to recommend more people to come into our live conversation and we can really get the chat popping. So make sure y'all like and subscribe and all that good stuff while we talk through the show. All right, so for Love and Marriage DC, I thought it was a really entertaining episode. We had yet another episode where we really didn't get to see Monique too much until the very end. But even though we only saw Monique for a few seconds, for a hot second, people were so mad at Monique. People were so mad at Monique because it's like every time we see her and Chris together, she's complaining about him. I understand why Monique feels the way that she feels about Chris in some way, shape, or form. I do understand. But then it wasn't until this episode that I started to understand why some of y'all feel the way that y'all feel about the way that Monique treats her husband on the show. We'll talk about it, okay? So, y'all, the episode starts out with the ladies at lunch. Starts out where it ended last time. We see I believe her name is Tasha, and I'm so mad because y'all are not putting no respect on her name. One of y'all in the comments last week had to tell me who Tasha was. Apparently, she does Monique's hair. She was at the couple's dinner in the episode before. They didn't introduce her by name. She was at the ladies' lunch. They didn't really introduce her by name. It was Tasha, Winter, Arena, and Ashley. Now, if y'all do realize, Ashley was very much playing mean girl. While I was kind of enjoying that Ashley was calling the thing a thing, I felt like she could have took her foot up off the gas whenever, hey Shantae, she could have took her foot up off the gas when it came to her delivery. I feel like she almost got a kick out of embarrassing Winter when it came to Winter and her failed relationships. So finally, these two ladies, this the comment right here, Harold. Not Love and Marriage DC reaffirming the folks who didn't see it for Monique on Real Housewives of Potomac. Ugh. This is my first introduction to her formally. Right. Hate to see it. Hate to see it because let Monique tell it. This was going to be her second chance. This was going to be her opportunity to formally introduce herself, and not the same way that she was introduced on that other show. So I hate to see it if the folks don't see it for it, but whatever. So anyway, at the ladies' lunch, Winter says, I would love for you to get to know me outside of my 2 marriages. And maybe that's why you feel like you don't really know me, because all you know about is my 2 marriages. And Ashley says, yes, maybe that's why. Maybe I can get to know you outside of the 2 marriages. And y'all, while all that sounds cute, I'm definitely taking notes and peeping how Ashley is saying maybe. Ashley really don't want to get to know Winter like that. She just doesn't. Okay. So I'm just like, whatever. Yes, Sephora. Ashley was right in what she was saying, but it was the wrong delivery. I felt like she was trying to embarrass her. So Arena, she's talking about her marriage. Okay. Now the topic of infidelity comes back up. Arena says, Jamie done did his dirt. I done my dirt in my marriage. My marriage. They both done some dirt, is what she says. Now, this is going to come back up later. Then after Ashley makes it a point to try to embarrass Winter, because Winter is a relationship expert with no relationship or has had failed relationships, Ashley sits there and she takes a book out of Arena's page and she says, well, if Quick ever cheated, then it would be tit for tat. And I'm thinking to myself, Arena, not Arena, Ashley, you've been married to your husband for how long? Your husband is in what industry? Your husband ain't never home? And you're going to sit here in our faces and say, if your husband has ever cheated, it would be tit for tat. Girl, goodbye. Goodbye. So Arena says, well, I feel the same way as Ashley. If I don't hear nothing and I don't see nothing, then I'm good. They're definitely a part of that old saying. Like, literally, y'all, I say this often in my reviews, not because I'm a firm believer in it, but this is just something that old people used to tell me all the time. Don't go digging for dirt unless you want to get your hands dirty. Don't go digging for dirt unless you want to get your hands dirty. So both of these women know very well that their husbands probably have cheated, but they don't want to know. They definitely was taking a page out of that. I don't want to know if you're playing me, keep it on the low. They don't want to know. And to me, I think that deserves a clown mask. I'm sorry. I think that deserves a clown mask. That's why you really can't be asking these people for relationship advice just because they've been together for 26 years. Okay? People's grandmas and granddaddies been together for umpteenth amount of years and they didn't like each other. So that's why you really can't be listening to these fools. And that's exactly what I'm going to call them. Both of them feel like their lives are already so established. They have these families. They don't want to know nothing that is going to change their everyday. I'm just like, I guess you better than me. Bless your heart. Couldn't be me. That's the way I feel about it. So next, y'all, I just had to call that out specifically. Just because while I do agree with some of what Ashley was saying, Ashley's intent was to embarrass Winter. Meanwhile, in the same breath, Ashley will sit in our faces and tell us that if her husband cheating, she don't want to know. Who's the clown here? The relationship expert with no relationship because she cut it off despite her bad judgment? Or will the real clown stand up? You. Girl, don't. Nothing ages well. Trust. Nothing ages well. So now, y'all, Ashley goes to see Quick's manager because she wants to get him more time off of work. She wants him to be at home more. And it's so funny to me that you have to go to your husband's manager to get him off of work because your husband isn't just taking off of work himself. Let's talk about Huntsville. Let's take a bite out of Huntsville, okay? Don't let these husbands out here manipulate you into thinking that work is a grind or a sacrifice that just has to be done to the point to where he's willing to grind or sacrifice his marriage. That doesn't make sense to me. That doesn't make sense to me. Ashley, I don't think y'all are struggling. At least y'all don't present to be struggling. So to me, it's very much giving Boo Boo the fool. Even though you tried to make Winter be the fool, it's very much giving Boo Boo the fool. So I don't know. I have mixed feelings. I really do. You should have talked to your husband about taking some time off of work so he could spend time with you instead of talking to his manager. Questions that need answers. Okay, that's the real questions that need answers. But anyway, let's move on from that. Next, y'all, we see Arana and Jamie's son, Jason. He's the one with the disability. And I do love that they are showing him with his disability on this show. Yes, Keisha, projecting facts. So I do think that it's good that they're showing Jason with this disability on the show. Just because people have different family dynamics, and it's always good to have representation on these TV shows, right? So, anyway, let me take a sip. Anyway, we find out that Jason has been applying to get into a school for adults with disabilities so that way they can get into some form of independent living. And that way he don't have to live with his parents anymore. He can hang out with girls, be an actual real adult, okay? His dad says that he can't do business with the family because of his disability. And this is coming from Jason. Jason told Arana, his mom, well, Dad said I can't do business with y'all because of my disability. And I was like, wow. So he feels like his dad is forcing him to go to DJ school. And ultimately, Jason just wants to work for Apple. He don't want to be a DJ. And y'all, from point one, from jump, I already knew that Jamie was trying to force his son to be a DJ because he felt like he sees his son's disability as like a, I don't know, a burden, I guess. He sees the son's disability as something that's gonna make his son be less than. So I think Jamie believes that if his son has some unique talent, if his son can be the best at something, it can outweigh all of his disabilities. It can make him cool, the most popular one. And what we're seeing here is Jason doesn't care about that. Jason wants to live with his disability and he wants to be independent. Jason wants to date girls, but he feels that he can do that by just being an independent adult. Jamie feels like his son isn't good enough unless he has some, huge talent to outweigh his disability. And it's more so about the way that Jamie feels. I know that Quick is saying stuff like, oh, well, I don't want Jamie to try to live through his kids. I don't think that's what he's doing. I think maybe a little bit Jamie wants to live through his kids, like a little bit. But I do think that Jamie feels that him being a DJ and him being successful will protect him from a lot of the bullying or a lot of the social challenges that he will have because he's blind. So it's more so about the way that Jamie's feeling and his insecurities about his son having a disability rather than the way that Jason feels about it. So let's move on now. We'll move on to Arana and Winter. These two have dinner. And Arana says she doesn't really see Ashley as aggressive. Ashley has always been opinionated as long as she's known her. So they just have two varying opinions about Winter. We also find out that Winter is 40 years old and she's abstinent. I'm like, okay, cool. And Arana ends up telling us, Winter says, well, you mentioned that you did your dirt and he did his dirt too. So what was that? And that's where Arana says, well, my dirt was just DMs, just, hey, how you doing? Good morning, queen, this, that. But she never caught him. So technically, y'all, she did exactly what we thought she would, okay? Arana told the other women Oh, well, he did his dirt. I did mine too. But let's be real, Arena. You don't know if that man did anything. So you feel like instead of looking like a fool that got stepped out on, it would be even. And it'd be like, oh, okay, girl, you stepped out, he stepped out too. Y'all even. Somebody cue the clown mask. I can't. Cue the clown mask. This is my third show. How many clown masks have I brought out at this point? Just two? Feels like 50. Arena is 48 years old, y'all. Like I told y'all last time, it's very much giving you don't have daughters. Very much giving you don't have daughters. I just don't understand how you could operate in this way and think that that was okay to say out loud at your big grown age. Arena old enough to be my mama. She looked good. We'll give her that. But girl, I can't believe you fixed yourself to come on this TV screen and say that he did his dirt, so you did your dirt too, but your dirt was just getting in the DMs, but you really don't really even know what your husband did. Oh, you right, Sephora. She do have a daughter. Lord. Lady J, this right on point. The sad part is that she blames herself for his infidelity. This is right on point. She did, but you know what's so funny about that, Lady J? She said that she didn't know if he cheated, but then in the same breath took accountability for him stepping out. And that's where Winter almost started sounding like a relationship expert whenever she said, I always say, you can't make somebody cheat on you. You can't. You can't. So it's just embarrassing. I can't. I can't. Then she doesn't stop there. She tells us, here, Grace Bay, definitely not an age thing. Women of all ages get cheated on and stay. That's not what I mean. I don't mean that she's too old to be cheated on. I mean she's too old to pretend to be so naive. Like she's too old. I don't give a damn if she's staying in her relationship. But you're too old to pretend to be that naive. That's what I mean when I say big grown age. So she don't stop there. Somebody pull up another clown mask. Somebody pull up another clown mask. She then says that their sex life isn't where she wants it to be. Now, she's not a clown mask for admitting this, but the information, y'all, and this is why I could never do reality TV in my life. Never. The information that they put on display, you have to be vulnerable to a point to where it makes you look dumb. Okay. And then you get people like me who review TV shows. I can't have y'all talking about me every week. But number one, y'all wouldn't catch me. Y'all wouldn't catch me. Not in these situations. Not talking about these situations or handling these situations that way. Because they always say, don't ever say, oh, it would never happen to me. As soon as you say that, it happened, right? But I can tell y'all, I would never handle these situations in the way that these ladies are handling them with their big grown ages. It just doesn't make sense to me. So she goes on from talking about infidelity to then talking about how their sex life is basically trash. Then they started talking about how she won't let him eat the box. Where they do that at? Where they do that at? Y'all. Where do they do that? You won't allow your husband to eat the box? I guess I can tell y'all that they do that where you feel like your husband cheats on you. I feel like whenever women sense some sort of infidelity, they lock it and they throw the key away because you for the streets. So Arena, let us know. Yes, Jay Antoinette won't let. won't let. Naturally, Mark. Orana, let us know why. Let us know why you won't allow him to. Y'all sex life probably ain't popping like that because you don't trust him. Because you're willing to put blinders on, but deep down inside, you know that this man has probably cheated and or is cheating on you, and you don't want to give yourself to him fully. So I'm just like, And Lady J says, I think she hinted in her confessional that Jamie isn't good at it. And they do need to go to a sex therapist if that is the thing. That is the thing. I'm just like, oh my gosh. Okay. So now, y'all, let's move on from that to we see another scene with Orana and Jamie at their family dinner. And when they have this family dinner, Jason has to tell his dad that he does not want to be a DJ. Orana basically throws him under the bus. She starts the conversation and she says, well, Jason don't want to be a DJ. He says that was your idea. And he finally stands up for himself, and I'm glad he did. This is also where we meet Orana's daughter, Brittany. Yes, okay. Okay. When you have trust issues, you lock it up. You're not about to risk my life. Okay. So whenever Jason tells his dad that he doesn't want to be a DJ, his dad's response is, well, what's plan B? Jason says, I want to go to school. I want to work for Apple. And his dad says, well, that's plan A. What's plan B? No, that's not plan A. Okay. Your plan A was for him to DJ. And now that he's telling you that's not his plan A, you're technically asking him for a plan C. But you're trying to confuse your son into thinking that being a DJ is the only out, only because you would feel more confident about having a son with disabilities. I think that's exactly what we're seeing. I think Jamie wants to feel better about having a son with disabilities, which is why he feels like he could avoid some of the challenges if he does something cool rather than something that makes him smart. So beyond that, Lil Jamie then says, well, how you gonna get girls? And I'm thinking to myself, look at clown A and look at clown B. Jamie, when you came on this show, and no disrespect, but this is just what you brought to me when I watched the show. When you came on this show, you damn near didn't have a relationship with Lil Jamie. And to me, that doesn't tell a full story. On one hand, people do have badass kids. On the other hand, some parents, they misdirect. They don't give good guidance. So for both Lil Jamie and Big Jamie to be asking this boy or man, because he's 21, to be asking Jason, well, how you gonna get girls? Lets me know that your priorities are all fucked up. And some of the thinking that you have when it comes to raising kids resulted in the fractured relationship that you have with Lil Jamie. And now you're trying to get Jason to go down the same path when he's telling you that he wants to go to school, he wants to work for Apple. I'm just like, look at these two fools speaking up. So his sister, Brittany, ends up speaking up on his side. And she said, I'm glad that you're telling them what you want to do because I wish I did that. She's telling them, I only did what y'all ever wanted me to do. And now I'm in a situation to where I'm trying to figure out exactly what it is I want to do in life. And she's the oldest out of all of them. So if she had her when she was 18, Brittany is 30 years old, y'all. Brittany is 30 years old and just now trying to figure out what it is that she wants to do in life because she listened to her parents. I'm like, girl, hey. Yeah. No, Jamie, let that man do what he want to do. So next, y'all, we finally get to one of the last scenes, and facts. Yep. All right. So finally, y'all, we see Ashley and Quick and Orana and Jamie at a double date. And Arena again starts talking about their sex life in front of the other couple. And Ashley and Quick are like, what do you mean y'all don't have sex? What do you mean you got to do this and do that? And y'all, low key, Ashley and Quick irritate me. I feel like at first I wasn't sure if I was going to like Ashley. To be real with y'all, after this episode, it's like a 70-30 for me. 70% chance that I'm not going to like her, 30% chance that I might. But Ashley and Quick come off as if they just know everything. They know everything. Meanwhile, you talking about if your husband cheated, knowing damn well he's probably cheated. I'm just like, I can't. So Quick and Ashley are trying to tell them what they need to do in the bedroom, just like Ashley did in episode 1. I'm just like, y'all, this ain't gonna age well. Because just wait till y'all shit hit the fan. So Arena says that Jamie isn't affectionate. He really just be like, turn around. Ew. And, you know, Ashley's telling her to let him eat the box. So I think they definitely should go to a sex therapist. It'd be funny if we actually see it on the show because Jamie's going to be so uncomfortable. But finally, let's move on from that to the final scene. Let's talk about Monique and what I was talking about at the beginning of this review. So when it came down to Monique, a lot of people were feeling a lot of different ways. And I have to tell y'all, this is where I can finally expand. In the beginning, I absolutely understood where Monique was coming from. I understood her saying, you know, I know you do the bare minimum, but I want immaculate. I deserve the best. I want you to do more. When she said that, I wasn't mad. She was challenging him to absolutely be a partner that gave as much to the relationship as what she felt like she was giving, which is fair. But they get back from Africa, and whenever, don't forget, Lady J said, don't forget, Arena was out of line for spraying Pam in that damn crab oil. Spraying Pam? Who is Pam? What did I miss? I remember the crab oil, but I don't remember the spraying Pam. Tell me what I missed, Lady J. So, anyway, and Jakima says this show needs another couple. Low-key, I don't think it needs another couple. I just think that we haven't been getting a whole lot. Oh, I think we haven't been getting a lot of Monique and Chris. It's the cooking spray. I said, who is Pam? The cooking spray. Y'all, I did forget to talk about the crab oil. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. Okay, let me tell you this. DMV. If y'all from the DMV area, y'all let me know. Aren't y'all supposed to be known for seafood, but y'all not really known for the crab boil? That's down to like the Louisiana type stuff. When I saw the crab boil, I didn't see no red. And that's how you know that the seasoning is hidden. I didn't see no red. I saw black pepper on the crab boil. Black pepper flakes. That was it. You know damn well you're supposed to have at least 3 different seasonings in that crab boil, and it's supposed to be red. It wasn't giving. I said, who is Pam? See, this is why I live for these lives, y'all, because I need y'all to keep me honest whenever I get ready to miss something. Old Bay? It didn't look like she was using no Old Bay. It looked like she was using some black pepper. It looked like she was using Miss Dash, the seasoning with no damn salt. She did say she can't cook. Oh, well. Because I was like, whenever she said she couldn't cook, I was like, you really can't mess up no crab boil. You really can't mess up no seafood boil, but you can. You can. You really can. When it tastes like you got it straight from the fish market in the grocery store, and you come home and you sit it on top of water, and that's it. You really could mess it up. You really could. Okay. So, y'all, she don't have Pinterest. Okay, Nafisa's daughter. If it's something I don't know how to cook, I hop on TikTok first. It used to be Pinterest, but now I hop on TikTok. Okay, you won't catch me not making a recipe from somebody, grandma. Okay, if I ain't got it, I'm gonna get it from somebody else on TikTok. She don't have Pinterest. Sam Chase said, hey, nothing's wrong with Miss Dash. It ain't nothing wrong with Miss Dash, Sam, because I be having to use Miss Dash because all that salt be rising my blood pressure. But if I'm eating a crab boil, I want all of it. I want all of the salt. I'm just going to have to detox and be bloated as hell the next day and take my magnesium and be all right. Okay, so y'all, finally, we see Monique and Chris, and they're back from Africa. Now, y'all, don't forget that whenever they got ready to go on this trip, Monique said that she was hoping for a moment for her and Chris to really just have a romantic awakening, something that just drew them back to each other. So finally, we get back. Monique has her contract from the radio station, so Monique is probably going to start a new job. And she ends up asking Chris, well, did you have an aha moment when we were on the trip? And Chris is just like, nah, I didn't. And Monique is so irritated. She says, you know, it's like I can't get any depth from you. I'm the only one offering any depth. And the note that I put next to that was expectations. Reason being is because I understand Monique wanting more out of her relationship. But I also feel like you know who you married. I feel like Monique is evolving. She wants Chris to evolve in the same way that she's evolving. And sometimes that's just not possible. You can't force someone to be who you want them to be based on who you've evolved to be. You know what I mean? So Monique is just consistently letting her husband know that he's not enough and that she's not satisfied with what it is that he's bringing to the table. Especially when it comes to like her thinking that he was going to have an aha moment. Chris probably isn't that deep into thinking spiritually and thinking about looking for a sign and doing this and doing that. And he probably wasn't that way when you met him, but you were okay with that because you were different too. So low key, y'all, I understand Monique wanting more, but ultimately I think that she's gonna hurt her relationship more than she is trying to better her relationship, because it's going to get to a point in time where Chris will truly believe that he's not enough for her and that nothing that he's going to do is going to make her happy. So he's going to get to the point of where I like to call it roll over and play dead, because we've seen him do it so many times on this show. It's only been like 3 damn episodes, and I feel like we've seen him do it. Case in point, last episode, or the first episode maybe, when they were talking about the list, and he said something. She asked him a question. He answered the question, and she said, "I'm not buying it." And Chris said, "Well, don't buy it." And when he said, "Well, don't buy it," it was pretty much just like, I quit. I'm not going to argue with you anymore. Whatever I say isn't good enough. And I know he probably believes that. But the thing that really like struck the chord for me when it came to Monique was because Chris didn't give the answer that she wanted him to. She then says, I guess we'll both just have to see what life has to offer. And when she said, we both have to see what life has to offer, it low-key sounded like she was trying to threaten him, she was trying to scare him, and she was letting him know, if we're not meant to be, then we're not meant to be. Let's see what life has to offer for us. Let's see what's in the cards for us, because at this point in time, I'm up for anything. So, I don't know about y'all, but Monique and Chris are on 2 different wavelengths. I think you can absolutely require more from a partner in a relationship. That goes for men, women, whatever. I think you can absolutely require more. But at some point in time, you have to ask yourself, are you changing that person into someone else? And I feel like she's trying to change him to match who she's currently with. And I feel like that's just not going to end well. But yeah, Chris ends up walking away. He tries to change the subject because he don't want to argue with her. And Monique ignores him and he ends up walking away, and production has to have a conversation with both of them because they're both over it. I told y'all first episode, I told y'all that I was nervous for Monique coming on this show. But the reason why was because I wasn't sure if I was going to dislike Chris at the end of it. I never thought that I would end up disliking Monique. And I still won't dislike Monique over this, but I just knew that this was not going to be a good look for their relationship. I knew it. And while Monique thinks that she's had the opportunity to come on the show and show herself in a better light, this ain't it. This ain't it. Start over. This is not it. Okay. But y'all, let's move on from Love and Marriage DC to talking about Love and Marriage Huntsville. But before we get into y'all's favorite reality TV show, y'all be sure to like the video so we can move on. All 181 of y'all, make sure y'all have liked, comment, subscribe, and then we can get into Love and Marriage Huntsville. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, 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 bum. All right, y'all, 7:14. My last review. And then I can go make dinner, but with some seasoning, not like Arena. Okay? Not like Arena. I'll put some seasoning on it. So, the title of this video, y'all, is called Love and Marriage, Huntsville and DC. It's very much giving other side of the tracks. It was very much giving other side of the tracks. Very much, very much, very much. I got pictures for y'all this week. I almost forgot. So there were really only 2 groups of people that we saw this episode. So I think the way that I'm going to do it, we're not going to talk about the order of events. I think what we're going to do is we're going to talk about Tiffany and Mel going to Utah, Alabama. This whole time, y'all tell me if it was just me, but I thought they were going to the state of Utah. They're going to Utah, Alabama. And it's so funny because I don't know what it is with all these states, but it's always little bitty ass towns that's named after big places. Paris, Texas. What else? Pittsburgh, Texas. Italy, Texas. What else, y'all? It's so many places, y'all. That's named after big places, and that's how you know it's a little bitty ass town. Utah, Alabama. Yes, spelled just like that. Utah, Alabama. Rome, Georgia. Yep. Paris, Texas. I think there's a Rome, Texas as well. They're named after all these big places. And it's like, that's how you know it's little as hell. Yep, a bunch of y'all saying the same places. Rome. Yep, y'all saying the same places, okay? So, I was like, why's my laptop buzzing? But anyway, y'all, let's talk about Tiffany and her journey. Athens West, Hollywood, Florida. Yes, okay? And y'all tell me, but I heard of like a Dallas, Georgia. Is Dallas, Georgia small or is it big? I'm like, that's not Dallas. Is that small or is it big? Las Vegas, New Mexico. Absolutely, I know about Paris, Texas. What do you mean? Absolutely. East Texas, okay? I'm not from East Texas, but I know about it. So anyway, real small. Oh, it's small. Dallas, Georgia is small. Okay, I figured. Even though Dallas is like a big city, yep, there's a China, Texas. I did not know that. We could go on and on and on. I don't know why they do that, y'all. I don't know why they name these small towns after much bigger places. But I guess. Yep. Yup. There was a Pittsburgh County, Oklahoma. I went to Oklahoma this weekend to see some extended family, and it was a Pittsburgh County, Oklahoma. And I'm just like, why do y'all keep doing that? So yes, two L's. To get to the point of what I was trying to say, Tiffany definitely made it seem like they were going out of state when they was going down the street. That's the point that I was trying to make. This entire time, I thought Tiffany was going on a huge cross-country tour to find her father. But she actually was just going to Utah, Alabama. I don't know how far it is, but I don't think Alabama's that big. So they really weren't going that far. So they headed to Utah to find her adoptive parent. But before she does that, her parents come over to the house. And I ain't gonna lie, y'all. When her parents first showed up, I thought they were both white people. And I was like, oh, makes sense. Makes sense. Tiffany does seem like, she was raised in a white household. That's what I was thinking. But then her mama opened up her mouth and started talking. Her adopted mama opened up her mouth and started talking. And it sounds like her adopted mom was also adopted because she didn't know it adopted, or either she didn't know who one of her parents were, because she said she thought she was native or something like that, but she definitely had some type of accent. And it wasn't no country accent. It was some sort of ethnic accent. And then Tiffany's dad was there, and he was giving real light-skinned Black person, Creole or something like that. So her mom was in support of her finding her father. Her dad was worried because her dad always felt like if she found her biological parents, then that would mean that they were replaced. But Tiffany is leading. She did. Her adopted mama did sound Creole. She did. So Tiffany was leading with, the reason why I'm looking for my father is because of health reasons. And while all that is a good reason to get to know your parents, I think that Tiffany was just saying that because she wanted to make it sound like it was a legit reason instead of actually possibly hurting her parents' feelings. I'm like, there's more reasons for you to get to know your father than health reasons, but okay. So we find out that there was another time that she ended up speaking to her biological mother, and her biological mother told her that it was another man who was possibly her daddy. So she reached out to the man. She met his family and everything. They went and took a DNA test, and come to find out he wasn't her dad. So that really hurt her feelings. But after that, her relationship with her biological mother just kind of fell off. And it seems like it's a sore spot, and it's something that her biological mother does not want to talk about. So that makes me wonder, if her biological mother thought that one guy was her dad, and now she knows that it's not, why? What's the backstory? I don't know. I can make up all types of speculations, but there has to be a backstory or a reason why Tiffany's mom doesn't want to talk about who her biological father could actually be. And can we stop for a second? Can we talk about how Tiffany was born in 1987? We've talked about this multiple times before. Tiffany absolutely is not given 1987, but it seems like she's been through a lot. So that's what we're going to credit it to. But let's keep in mind that this whole investigation has to do around the year 1987, almost 1990s, which sounds wild to me. That sounds so wild to me. Good question. Y'all saying lies. 1989. I have to tell y'all, like, I was watching this show with my husband, and he loves this show. He watched all the shows I review. It's too funny. And it's like, he'll passively watch the show. But then all of a sudden she said, I was born in 1987. He took that remote, he paused, and he said, what? Did you just hear that? And I said, what? He said, ain't no way. She 3 years older than me. Ain't no way. But whatever, y'all. So what I'm saying is, I want y'all to keep in mind that the timeline of events and the research that we're digging into was around 1987, but it very much felt like we was trying to solve a cold case from 1967. And y'all let me know if it was just me that felt that way. So Tiffany and Mel are on the way to Utah, and when they're in the car, Tiffany is talking about starting a family and having a baby, and how Lewis is telling her that she don't have time for a baby. And Mel is saying, well, if your husband is saying you don't have time, you might want to listen to him. And Tiffany's like, man, well, I can make time because I go to work at 6 o'clock in the morning. I don't get home till 11 p.m. at night, and he still gets head and he still gets sex. And I'm just like, Tiffany, how you think you're going to be able to provide all those things if you add a baby into the mix? And if your husband is telling you that you don't have time, he's gently telling you that he don't want to have another kid right now. So if you were to put him in a situation that he really don't want to be involved in, it absolutely could end up not good. And that's exactly what Mel was saying. Tiffany keeps talking. Mel ends up falling asleep on her ass. So whenever they arrive to Utah, they go to this newspaper place, and they go through some magazines, and what they find is a 1987 newspaper, and it was a birthing campaign for white teens. It was for a bunch of white teens who had ended up getting pregnant, and they were giving their kids away for adoption. And that was the same year that she was born. So they meet a man who's at the newspaper stand, and they're asking him, how long have you been there? He's been there for a long time, since before she was born. And he tells her, well, after 1968, all white people in this town went to a private school because they didn't want to go to school with black people. So he says it was almost a basis for lynching. And to me, when he said that, my mind was thinking that Tiffany was born in damn 1957. I ain't even gonna lie. But we have to think Alabama is the South. But damn, into the almost 90s, they was down there doing that. And you could tell Mel was a little bit irritated by him saying that, because it was almost as if he was telling her, your daddy might not be alive. Yes, that man at the newspaper building looked like he was down. He did. He did look like he was a part of it. I felt like he was trying to incite fear. So anyway, they end up leaving, and Tiffany's obviously nervous. They end up leaving, they go across the street. And this part was so funny because it seems so staged to me. Mel goes, oh, it's the man across the street. Let's go ask him. And they make it seem like he's randomly walking across the street, la, 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 la. And then meanwhile, you see these big ass speakers over his head and microphones over his head because they were waiting on Mel and Tiffany to come off the street and talk to him. So anyway, they go across the street and they see this black man in the top picture over to the right. And he says that he was born in 1969 and that he was born and raised in Utah, Alabama. So she shows him a picture and says, well, do you know this woman right here? This is my mother. And that's when he says, oh, I know her. She had a friend. When he said, I know her, oh, I was like, damn. For the town to be segregated in the 1970s, 1980s, essentially, not by law, but by choice, because the white kids were going to a private school, for the town to be segregated. And yes, Keisha, we ain't gonna skip that part where Mel said, let me unzip my blouse a little bit to get us some help. So the fact that he said, I know your mama told me, oh, your mama loved her some black men. Your mama thought she was a white-skinned black girl. That's what she thought until she got pregnant. So he says he knew her when she was pregnant. She was already pregnant when he met her. And for a second, I was kind of like, is you her daddy? Are you her daddy? Is that why you saying that she was already pregnant? Something about this man to me felt like he was nervous when they came over, because he didn't know if they was going to say, hey, You somebody daddy. My mama had a baby by you, or I'm that baby, right? He looked nervous. So, ooh. Prosner always says it's possible she doesn't have the correct birth certificate, especially since they had destruction of property. That is a huge possibility because there's no way it's given 1987. Diana says that man was Tiffany Day. To me, I'm just like, why did he have to make it clear that she was already pregnant when he met her? It's okay if she wasn't. Ain't nobody gonna make you take a paternity test on the street. So I'm just like, I don't know. Yep, that man did not want Tiffany to get any ideas, and didn't. He didn't. So, yeah, her and her friend, two white girls, love to hang around all the black dudes, is what he said. Yep, yep. He was clearing up the paternity. I felt like he was doing that too. Um, yep. All these years later, he recognized her mama immediately as soon as he saw her. I don't even want to know what she did to linger on his mind. Ooh, girl. So this part of the episode was really interesting to me because y'all know I love documentaries. I love true crime stuff. So I guess we're gonna see next episode what happens with the Tiffany and Mel story and Tiffany's father as this storyline progresses. So now let's move on from talking about Tiffany to talking about other side of the tracks. So we first see Marceau, Tisha, and Wanda in this episode looking at food trucks. The food truck that Wanda brought them to looked a damn mess. And whenever they get inside the food truck, everything looks a mess. The engine looks busted. And Wanda is telling him, like, this is my truck. I'm going to sit this over here. This is going to be my manager. It's very much giving y'all are trying to give Candy in the Gang. This was definitely the pilot episode of Candy in the Gang or Wanda Show Enough crew. Okay, Wanda other side of the tracks. This was the pilot for that episode. They wanted to see how we was going to like it. And for me personally, I would watch it. The shit is so dumb, so ridiculous, so clown-like that I would watch it. I really would. And I would come up here and I would score every week on her family. I would. I would. So they get inside the truck. The guy tells them that it's probably going to cost about $40,000 total, or $40,000 more to get the truck completely finished. And that's where Marceau says that it will basically be a waste of money and it would be equivalent to them throwing the money out the window. But this is where we find out what it's all about, y'all. This is where Tisha says, well, you're trying to work and do business with Martell, who tried to destroy our family, and you don't want to help my mama out. We're giving her the money, is what she says. So this is where we find out what this is all about, y'all. The real issue is that Tisha knows, okay, 40,000 on top. Okay. Tisha knows that Marceau has probably done something. Or Tisha is tired of Marceau allowing her to look like a fool. So she's trying to force him to buy this food truck for her mama because it's kind of like a, you owe me one. You trying to dance with the damn devil, Martell, but you don't want to help my mama out. And that's where Marceau says, well, your mama tried to ruin our family as well. And Tisha goes, well, this all goes back to the Holtz. And I have to tell y'all the delusion. I have to tell y'all, between Kimmy and Tisha, nobody wants to take accountability for their grown-ass husbands and what their grown-ass husbands decide to expose themselves to. Just as Martell said it perfectly not too long ago. The reason why they're involved is because they're in my environments. I'll never forget when he said that. He said that 2 episodes ago. It's because they're in my environments. Marceau, in Martell's environment. Maurice, in Martell's environment. And y'all are really trying to act like because Martell is the only one who got caught, he's the devil in this situation. He's the fallback guy. And I hate to see it. So Tisha, all of this goes back to the Holtz. So Tisha's holding this over his head. I'm just like, okay. I do agree with Marcel though. I do agree that that truck would be a waste of money. And it's safe to say she don't have the truck because if y'all was watching the live, hey J Dub, when y'all was watching the live on Memorial Day weekend, I don't know what was in a damn barbecue, but when Mel was running around, Martell, please don't, your kids are looking. When all that was going on, and Wanda was going live. Wanda was not in a food truck, y'all. Wanda was like underneath the tent. So I think it's safe to say that they did not buy the truck, and I don't think they should have. Tisha, let me be real with you. You smart, you's kind, you's important. Okay. I think you need to, and I'm gonna say it again, like I say every damn episode. Put your damn thinking cap on, strap it up, and decide what you want to do. Okay. Your husband had you on this show looking like a fool for I don't know how long. But you feel like your way of getting back at him is to get your husband to invest $40,000 of y'all's money into your mama's nasty ass looking potatoes. I tell you what, Tisha, if you know your husband ain't no good, you're going to have to come up off of more than $40,000. You're going to have to invest in another property that's just under my name. You're going to buy my mother a house. You're going to do something like that. $40,000 on a food truck that ain't going to start. Tisha, do better. Okay. If you want to turn a blind eye and make it seem like your husband ain't cheating, do better. We require more. Okay. Like Funky be saying, pay me for my pain. Mm-hmm. And I do still be saying that around the house. I do. Yes. Wanda will cuss Marcel out and still want a business loan. And it definitely is giving you owe me. It is. Okay. So now, y'all, let's move on to this Show Enough event. So the last two pictures on the right-hand side is at the Show Enough event. And we see Tisha's brother, T-Mac. And he gets a whole scene by himself. And this is why I was telling y'all, it was very much giving y'all want to be Candy in the Gang. It was very much giving Sweetie Pies, like one of y'all said in the comments. And T-Mac is talking to his girlfriend, introduces his cousin to the girlfriend and says, well, you know we expecting, right? And the girl looks at him like, I didn't know you was going to tell people. And I was just looking at her and I was like, she's probably not even past the first term. Why are you telling her business like that? Are you dumb? Are you stupid? Then come to find out, he's still married. He's still married and already has a kid. Are you dumb? Why did y'all show that scene? Okay. So Tisha's cousin, Bernard, I ain't gonna forget his name, Bernard. Y'all see him with blonde hair and the blonde beard. They all surround Marceau. And when I tell y'all, they surrounded them, I was like itching. I was itching. Look at all of these people surrounding Marceau, speaking the way that Wanda and Tisha speak. That might be wrong of me to say it. That might be wrong for me to say it, but I got to be real with y'all. Don't I? I was itching. And they all like, yeah, you don't do this. You do this. You called me a Dominican. You called me a Dominican. You's a controlling freak. And Marcel is just sitting there looking at everybody like, he's looking at everybody like, y'all missing a few marbles. I ain't gonna go in on y'all. Y'all missing a few marbles. You know, all your test was multiple choice with only two choices. I ain't gonna go after you. So instead of saying Dominican, he actually meant that Marceau was calling them minions. And also, you can't be a controlling freak. It's a control freak. But okay. So all of her cousins want TV time, especially these two twins in the front. They're cute or whatever. But they all came up there, and it was almost as if the two twins came on camera. And then you got Ja Rule in the back. You got the two twins, you got Bernard, and then you got Ja Rule in the back just sitting there looking. What would I be without baby? Tisha, I don't know what the hell. It very much was giving other side of the tracks. But the two twins, they sat there, and you could tell that once they got in front of the camera, it was like they almost didn't know what to say. So yeah, you did this. What about it? You didn't answer the question, but you didn't. And then he would say something. He would say, "Let me ask you a question." They'd be like, "It was just too much." But what killed me is that Tisha allowed them all of the TV time. She allowed them to question her husband. And I'm just like, Tisha, you flip shit when you and your husband are being discussed in other rooms, but you feel empowered when your family is questioning him because you think that maybe they can punish him because you have no effect on him. Let's be real. As much as Marceau says the only person that he cares about is his wife and his family, that's a damn lie. Tisha feels as though, even though he says that, she has no real rendering on whether he's being honest or not, whether or not he's being moved. So she wants her family to yell at him. She wants somebody else to do her dirty work for her. So Tisha says, okay, y'all, like, even though he's not answering the questions, he don't have to answer the questions for me because, for one, I'm not an idiot. I'm not naive. I have intuition and I can do my research. Dumb. I'm sorry. Put on your thinking cap, okay? Dumb. I'm sorry. Why, in a room full of your entire extended family, you're telling people that because you have no word to believe in from your husband, you have to rely on intuition and research? And if y'all want to be all the way real, if Tisha is satisfied with doing research to know whether or not her husband is doing wrong, then what is everybody else doing by talking on social media? Research. Everybody else is just doing research. So what are you so mad at everybody doing research for, Tisha, if that's what you have to do because you can't get a word from your husband? And yes, y'all are absolutely right. Whenever Tisha said, I'm not dumb, Bernard said, I beg to differ. Oh gosh, I can't. I really can't, y'all. She's doing research to figure out what it is her husband is saying. So they finally get the food, y'all. And when they get the food and they sit down with the nasty looking potatoes, Tisha's brother, T-Mac, comes over to Marceau because he's telling his mama, we got to get that food truck started. Yeah, I'm going to have another kid. We got to get that food truck started. And Wanda said the smartest thing I think I've heard her say all day, I think you got to get rid of that wife first. And you're going to need a hell of a lot more than a damn food truck to be able to take care of them two kids, right? So T-Mac then takes his foolery, and it's like they're all surrounding Marceau because he's the one with the money. Tisha's the one with the camera. They all want something from them. And to me, it just, ugh. It really did. They did take over the show. They did. So T-Mac comes over to Marceau and he starts talking to him about getting this damn food truck off the ground. So the camera's sitting right here, and we're looking at T-Mac and Marceau have a conversation about the food truck. And Marceau is like, yeah, I don't know if that's an investment I want to do. And then all of a sudden, boom, the camera pans over. And Bernard, no, that's just because you don't want to do nothing. Damn, Bernard, why are you so angry? It was very much given troll. And Grace Bay, I agree. I was upset because her family was making me agree with Marceau the entire time. It absolutely made me feel it did. It did. And Prosna always, thank you for watching the like button for me. It's over 300 of y'all in here, and we only got 130 likes. I think the math is not mathing. Y'all like the video so we can finish the review. Go ahead and like the video. Give me a thumbs up. All right, y'all. I hope y'all did y'all job. But yes, Bernard said that's because you cheap. This whole scene was cringe. Even the twins, as cute as the twins were, they were cringe because they wanted to be seen on TV. So finally, y'all, April, this food truck is supposed to save the entire family. You say it again. Say it again. They say it like they're opening up, a multi-million-dollar business. I don't know. I feel like the food truck would be enough to support Wanda, but they're doing a lot. Ooh, this the comment right here. Okay, California Cutie, cute picture update. California Cutie says they backed Marceau up into a corner, and he had to do what he had to do. He said, y'all can smell my junk if y'all want to prove if I was cheating or not. Ayana, this is the comment for me. Ayana says, I bet Marceau reminds Tisha in a not so subtle way that he rescued her from. Tisha knows it. Don't make me get you back to the hood. Don't make me get you back. Y'all know that Drake song? I say bounce it like whoa. Bounce it like whoa. Yes, 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 yes. Yes. That was cringy. That was cringy. They're trying to see if they can get a spinoff. And y'all, the foolery that this family provides, y'all let me know in the comments right now. How many of y'all would watch like a special, maybe a 3-4 episode special on the Scotts? No, they're not the Scotts. Who are these people? Tisha's family. Y'all let me know, would y'all watch a 3 to 4 episode special on Tisha and her family? I want to see y'all's responses. For me, the answer is yes. Okay. We could probably talk for days. Everybody is undeniably saying no. I'm saying I don't like them, so I can't watch. Hell no, I'll pass. Nah, I can't watch that. Oh gosh, hey Prosperity. It's a no for me. I'll pass. No, nobody. Okay, Tia said she would. So I guess it's just gonna be me and Tia, and then y'all will get the reviews from me. Okay, I see one. I mean, why not, Ayana? I would not. All caps. I won't. Y'all, okay, I guess. Wanda and the Misfits. Nope. Y'all are too funny. Yes, California Cutie. Why are they acting like they're opening up an OLG restaurant? They really are. They really are. Yeah. She'll support. Lisa will support me though. That's funny. Yeah, this is the one I'm with, Southern Lady. If we can catch Candy and Portia's families, then why not? Portia, okay, we watch Portia's Family Mess. Why not? Why not? Hell to no. Well, Kiki ends up walking into the event, y'all. And when she does, that's when it's all gonna go down. They showed the previews, and it seems like Tisha threw the B word. What is up with everybody using the word bitches this season? She definitely cussed. Not at the family event, calling your cousin the B word. Not at the family event. So I can't wait to see the episode. So today, For those of you who joined the chat late. Okay, Tia. But when Mel said it, it was World War III. Okay? But when everybody was doing their research on your relationship because of what's been said on social media, it was World War III. Girl, I can't. I can't. I can't. Okay. And I heard that Destiny and Tisha was talking a lot of hot shit on Carlos King Nightcap. I haven't watched the Nightcap yet, but I definitely want to just because I want to see what Destiny and Tisha were saying. I really do. Marcel's slip is showing. The way he reacted to Kiki is very telling. So next episode is where we're gonna see them arguing and where it seems like Kiki is gonna expose Marcel. We're gonna see y'all. That's all I got for y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed this review. Okay, friend. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, okay? And if you haven't checked out my first review that I did today, go ahead and check out Real Housewives of Dubai and Real Housewives of Atlanta. If you stick around in the chat, you will be redirected to that video, okay? Hope y'all had a good one. I'm about to go make some dinner before it get too late. And I will see y'all in the next one. Bye.